Welcome everyone. We do our weekly CMMC roundtables for CPN. And this week we are doing our countdown to launch. It's an exciting time for CPN. We're going to be preparing to launch our mentorship program and also our learning pathways for CMMC, sharing that overview, giving you insights into what to expect, and then also leave plenty of time for questions. You all for joining. Actually, let's just kind of jump straight into CPN. Our mission ultimately and the vision is to focus on the career development for CMMC professionals. Back in October, when I had the idea to start CPN, I was just looking around the ecosystem and realized that there wasn't really a lot of opportunities for professionals to get hands-on experience, especially those who are new to CMMC. Probably almost daily, if not weekly, someone was contacting me saying, "Hey, I'm hearing about the CMMC thing. How do I get started? How can I get experience?" So I wanted to create a community where we could facilitate those opportunities for hands-on training, opportunities for just career advancement. So we are moving one step closer to providing that for the CPN community. Since starting CPN back in October, we've had several accomplishments. We became officially a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We've delivered probably over 10 at this point, 10 roundtables inviting partners from the community, such as cloud service providers and other CMMC solution providers to present during our roundtables. We've done several mock assessments and lots of different training. So now at this point, we are getting ready to take it to the next level. So more of that applied CMMC learning. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you all today. So just kind of give you an overview of our leadership team. It's definitely not just myself. The ambitious goals that we have for CPN requires a team, and it's a community effort. So we do have, being a nonprofit, we have our board of directors. We have Rick Bruner, Dieva Carter, and Mark DeBry, one of our directors team. And then we have our leadership team. They're more involved in the day-to-day, helping to develop and deliver the various initiatives. Rodney, Tarek, Makia, Cody, and Elvis. And a crucial role in really helping to develop all of this initiatives that we have on the horizons for CPN. Let me see if any have joined us today.
Good morning. This is Tarek.
Hey, Tarek. Welcome, Tarek. Yeah, Tarek, once we get to the mentorship slide, I'll have you talk to that a little bit. But yeah, as far as the leadership team, pretty much from day one, once I decided, okay, let's build this community and I'm going to need a leadership team, Tarek was one of the first to accept my invitation to come along with on this journey. Definitely they've played a vital role. All right. Then in addition to that, now that we've launched our paid membership program or plans, I want to give special thanks to our 3 founding members. So as of today, we have 3 founding members who have made a financial investment in the future of CPN and making sure that we have the funding to deliver these initiatives. Talk about having a mentorship program and education training pathways. Things cost money. So we have to have investments from our members to help us deliver these initiatives. So really thankful to our 3 founding members. And a big help to help us kind of build out our learning management system, our communication system, a lot of different things that come with trying to deliver education programs and training. Okay, so first we'll talk about mentorship. So basically the 2 major initiatives that we'll be launching as of April 2nd will be our mentorship program and our CMMC Pathways. So those are really the cornerstones of what we want to do and provide to the community is that education, mentorship, and just opportunities for career advancement. So Tarek and Yvette, they have been working really hard on building out our mentorship program. So it's in place once we launch and a valuable resource to our members. And then also be able to have the resources available to the mentors who are going to be doing the mentoring. So Tarek, you want to talk to the mentorship program and what's your vision for it and what can members expect?
Yes, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Fully appreciate it, the support that you have in building this community as well. I think we're almost close to 1,000 members, I think, on the LinkedIn group that we have. With that in mind, it's been encouraging. The idea is I've had quite a few people reach out as well who are more on the IT side and want to transition more towards the compliance, needing some guidance. Where do we start? How do we get started? What the process is. So we have one of those mentorship transitioning a little bit from IT to how to really understand that legal language and how to implement it, how to document it, and really make the case that how you meet these controls. That would be one part, and slowly transition you into, or should you be jumping right into the CCP course or what that is. So we'll kind of guide you through those pieces, just initial consultation of understanding where you are, where you want to go. And then with that, and the training will be the hand in hand that will go with that. And if you feel confident, do we go into the CCP and what happens after CCP? With that in mind, the next piece is after you do your CCP and take your test, certify, get your tier 3 background, what's next, right? I mean, typically we work hard, we wait on it. What's the next step? What can I do? If you're working somewhere, are you trying to help the company that you're working with? So we can guide you through those process. And if you want to get into consulting or trying to find a job, work with other companies, we're happy to assist with that. If you're wanting to get into the consulting side, we have, Derek and a few other members here who have started their consulting and IT businesses. We can pair that up, you guys, with them to understand how that works. And I think some of our founding members are also part of that can become mentors to see where do you start your consulting, how do you price it, what is the process, what do you need to think about, where do you engage, how do you find those other companies that are looking for your qualifications. So those are the two processes. One is kind of transitioning out from just a typical IT and becoming more of the compliance professional. And after that, what happens after you become CCP? What's your options from the career path in the development? So we'll kind of work through those processes as you develop into it. So that's kind of the quick overview of two pathways we have, one starting out, one what happens after the CCP. That should be, yep, in a nutshell.
Cool. Thanks, Tarek. And certainly good job on getting this program put into place. It's been a lot of work getting to this point. So excited to launch it and actually start pairing those mentees with mentors. So essentially how the process works as members become a sign up to become a professional member or a founding member. Part of that onboarding process is that we send them a welcome email confirming what pathway that they want to do, and then also confirming do they want to be a mentor or a mentee. So if they want to do both. So essentially, we have a pool of members who have identified they want to mentor. So likely those are going to be the seasoned cybersecurity professionals that they want to give back. They want to pay it forward. And then we have another pool of those who identified they want to be a mentee. We have several who identified they want to do both. They want to be a mentor and a mentee. So that's awesome. Starting this week, we're going to start making those pairings and notifications and letting those mentees know who they're paired with, who their mentor is going to be. And our expectation for the mentors is at a minimally that they commit at least 1 hour per month of meeting with their their mentee, and just kind of providing them career guidance, answering questions, kind of the role of what mentors do. And as far as my experience being a mentor and being menteed, it usually is that dual relationship where the mentor is learning from the mentee and the mentee is learning from the mentor. I think that's a good approach where it's not just kind of a lecture style type relationship. It's more so of them learning from each other, learning and growing. So looking forward to CPN cultivating those connections and helping to accelerate the career paths of the mentees. Again, for those of you who have already signed up as professional members or founding members, be on the lookout this week. We'll likely be getting communication from Tarek in regards to who you're paired with, and the contact information for your mentor underway this week. And in addition, Anticipate we'll be doing specialized type training and events for continuously help try to cultivate those mentor-mentee relationships. Big focus for CPN. Something that I'm commonly asked about for people that's new to CMMC. How can I get guidance, mentorship? We're happy to provide that. Before I move on to talk about the CMMC pathways that we'll be offering, any questions about the mentorship program? I know we have a few professional members already on here. So do you have any questions about what to expect in the mentorship program? And then any of you who have just be joining and interested in becoming a mentor, we're always looking for people who are looking to give back and mentor next generation of CMMC professionals. Okay, so talk about our pathways. So this is kind of a high level preview of what's to come. We'll actually have a separate just kind of reveal about going into details about the various pathways. But essentially our vision is to have 3 tracks for members to choose from. So those who maybe want to specialize in implementation, that hands-on implementing the CMMC requirements, so the techies amongst us. And then the other path, it would be CMMC consultants, those who are interested in providing those advisory consulting services, maybe more entrepreneurial pathway for our members so that they can choose that one. And then the third one is going to be the evaluator. So that's going to be the members who are more interested in assessing compliance with the requirements. So when that evaluation, they're giving those 3 paths to choose from. Choose your own adventure as a CPN member. And within each pathway, there's going to be that specialized training and hands-on opportunities to apply what you've learned, and with the goal of ultimately working towards the certificate that will be issued by CPN, which will be our CMMC Readiness Advisor. So again, more details to follow about the pathway and certificate, what's going to be the criteria, and how do you as a member ultimately attain CRA certificate. That's something that we're excited about. Makia, she's worked really hard on developing our education program and building out these pathways, and that we're going to give you more details about that later, but wanted to give you kind of an overview of how our pathways align with essentially a certificate track. So it's not just to clarify, not a certification. So this is just going to be a certificate that's issued by CPN. And there are a lot of parallels to how we built out our education program. To any of you who may be familiar with Toastmasters, I was Toastmaster, and so Toastmasters organization that helps people develop their communication skills. Been around, I think, over 100 years. So I was a Toastmaster for a number of years, and I really like how they pretty much bring someone into the organization, new members who may not even speak English as their first language. And by the end of getting to their highest level certificate, which is a distinguished Toastmaster, they are very, very competent public communicators. So we're kind of taking a lot of those same best practices and applying it to CMMC. A member can join, have no CMMC experience, but we have the resources, the mentorship, the support in place where as they progress through the pathways of their choice, that they ultimately reach that CMMC Readiness Advisor certificate. So it is a progression. It's going to take a commitment and an investment, but again, as a community, we're going to make sure we have all the support and resources that you need to obtain that. And then from a career opportunity perspective, I know myself as an employer, Tarek, other members who are employers, kind of look at that certificate as members who have demonstrated their aptitude and their dedication to CMMC. For example, if someone's applying for an open role that Aspire Cyber has as a CMMC consultant, definitely would give more weight to going through these pathways. They obtain their certificate. I know they have some hands-on experience versus just a degree in cybersecurity, a certification where they just had to study. To obtain that CRA certificate, they're going to have to demonstrate hands-on applied knowledge in addition to book knowledge, assessment guides. One thing that I think is going to really distinguish CPN from maybe other organizations that provide training. And ultimately CPN, our goal is to supplement the Cyber AV and the CAICO, because we know they provide the certifications for CCP, CCA, also providing the RP designation. We're not conflicting with any of that. We want to make sure we're just supplementing it and providing that hands-on training for members beyond the theoretical training. Pause again, opening up any questions about those pathways in our certificate that CPN will issue. Yep. I hear you now. Can you say it again?
This is Ed.
Hey,
Yep. Hey, thank you guys for putting this on. First of all, I definitely find value in what you're doing, so I appreciate all of this.
Awesome. I appreciate your feedback, Ed. I know you're signed up as a professional member, and yeah, we're looking forward to delivering just tremendous value for you. So any insights you can provide as we're building this out, and it's initially it is going to be a learning curve. Hey, we identified a gap, and we're trying to fill that gap, but we're building it. So I definitely appreciate you being one of the early adopters and investing in CPN.
No problem. Real quick. So my question was to fill the role as a consultant, right? But obviously I'm still immersing myself into this space, CMMC space. So I want to get more hands-on in the configuration part, but I'm also set up as a consultant, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out, obviously I think you probably would recommend starting the implementer first, but is there a way where we can kind of work on both of them at the same time? Or you have to go through one without before you go to the next?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something I forgot to really distinguish. So it's essentially, and especially starting out with our first, essentially our cohort, which I'm going to talk more about, but the foundational training is really going to be the same for everyone. But really with the pathways that you can select from is really going to give opportunities for, think about it as like electives. We're going to be elective training for those different pathways, and the training is going to be delivered both live, virtually, and then also all that live training is going to be recorded and available for members to watch on demand. So you can ultimately go through as many electives as you like. So you can focus on implementation, but hey, you also be able to have access to the consulting and evaluator. So you can pretty much, going back to pick your adventure and then pick what areas you want to increase your knowledge in. So you're not locked in to only being able to have access to the training that you selected in your pathway.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah. We're going to be really intentional about building out our training library and then providing just elective trainings and in the form of like what I call them, kind of like call it master, I can think of the term right now, but basically, let's say for consultants, providing training like on business related training, things about consulting, all of that is we're going to be producing that type of training, and everyone will have access to it. Then, good question. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking about was master classes. So for each of these pathways, we have building out a library of master classes that relate specific to that pathway. In regards to obtaining a certificate, members will have to complete at least 2 pathways. You're going to have to complete at least 2 of the 3 pathways to get their certificate. And we'll provide more details about what's going to be tracked and what goes towards getting closer to obtaining your certificate. That's coming soon. All right, so going into the hands-on training. So we already talked about the mentorship program that's going to be launching on Tuesday, and in parallel with that is going to be our hands-on training, which ties into our pathways. So very excited that all of these partners listed have offered training specific to their solution and or licenses. So Microsoft, they provided us with a modular training for CMMC, so how to implement the requirements using the Microsoft solutions. So that's what the members enrolled in that pathway are going to be learning about how to implement the Microsoft solutions. Google Workspace, really excited. They've committed 40 licenses for Google Workspace. So the members enrolled in that pathway will actually get hands-on experience with and in that training environment with actual Google Workspace licenses. So we'll have the opportunity to implement the requirements that they're learning. Prevail has also committed licenses for our members. Just met with Prevail last week, and we got the CPN tenant set up for Prevail, where as members enroll in that pathway, they'll be able to get enrolled into that training tenant for Prevail. So again, getting that hands-on training, no additional costs for the CPN Professional and founding members. AWS Gov, I know Mark DeBry, I mentioned he's on our board. He's working closely with Travis from AWS to secure training for that pathway. So that's more information to come on with AWS. And then Salesforce, that's going to be another pathway that's available or specialty area for our members, those who are looking to get more information about Salesforce. Still working out the details in terms of what that training is going to look like. Those are the key partners we have to provide our members with hands-on training. Any questions about the CMMC hands-on training? We're looking to continuously build out this list. We kind of wanted to start with the core cloud service providers that we know offer CMMC enclaves, get our members some hands-on experience. So instead of just teaching about the requirements and looking at the different configuration settings, and actually apply them in a training environment. And in addition to that, so going with Microsoft, so essentially how we're going to approach it with Microsoft is Microsoft offers like a 30-day license, like trial license. So that's kind of how once we get into the training portion where you need to implement the requirements, we'll likely have members sign up for the trial license with Microsoft. Now for GCC and GCC High, there are no trial licenses, but in regards of the configurations, it's really the same, whether you're using Microsoft commercial license or GCC High. Talking about GCC High, really different data center as far as administration requirements, but for training purposes, we'll be able to leverage the commercial trial licenses to get our members some hands-on training. And then in addition to that, Alejandro from 1234, it's called ASOG, who are able to sell the GCC High licenses. So I know I'm putting together a package where members who, let's say they're enrolled in the GCC and GCC High pathway, if they want to go through this training because maybe they're doing it for their own company in preparation for CMMC Level 2 certification, then they would be able to actually, instead of using a trial license, would be able to get a GCC High license, pay for that license, and then do all their training configuration in a real tenant, pretty much leverage that for their own certification preparation. So more details to follow on that as well, but just kind of give you some ideas of how we're going to be approaching the licensing with Microsoft. Any questions? All right. And again, for those of you who have already enrolled, for those of you who are already enrolled, we'll be sending out more details by Tuesday. I know I mentioned the launch happens officially April 2nd. It's not like training starts that exact day. It's just, that's the official launch where we'll start having the kickoff. So that. So essentially, who is this for? The target audience, it's going to be a pretty diverse group of members going through. We have members who are new to CMMC, some who are new to cybersecurity, and then we have those who are already doing consulting or assessors. A lot of members who already have their CCP, CCA, lead assessor. So you're going to be combining those groups into the same training with that approach. So we have to start off with the foundation with CMMC. So we're not jumping into configuration day one. We have to level set and make sure everyone is going along at the same pace. So for those of you who are new to CMMC, you're enrolled, just know that you're not going to get left. We're taking that group learning approach. And there is no prereq in terms of past CMMC experience or cybersecurity experience. As long as you have the interest, the aptitude, you're committed to going through the trainings, then you're going to do well. Do everything in our power to set you up for success. So in terms of the delivery, we have volunteers who have volunteered to be advisors for each of the trainings, and they're going to be the ones developing and delivering the training. Essentially, and it's going to be, in terms of the live training, it's going to be chosen by the advisor. So, for example, we're going to be starting off with focusing on CMMC level 1 with the folks, just to make sure we're establishing that foundation for everyone in the training. And then with level 1, so let's say we have 6 advisors. Each advisor will select a domain from level 1, and they're going to deliver the training for that. So they'll have the training outline. If they're delivering training weekly, the members enroll to the live training, but they also record the training, and the recordings will be available to the members. So if you can't make it to the live training, you'll be able to watch the recording. For those of you who can't make it to the live training, you'll be able to ask questions and engage with the advisors during the training. Let's see. And it's going to be up to the advisors how thoroughly, how many essentially micro modules they wanted to deliver within that domain. We're going to continuously build out that learning library for members to make sure that they have thorough training for each micro module. So we're going to do it in again, cohorts. This first cohort, we're going to aim, it's going to run for 90 days. And then April 2nd, we're going to have each cohort, they're going to have a kickoff session with the advisors. So you get to meet your advisors. They'll give you an overview of what the training outline is for that cohort. And then as we go to our second, third, fourth cohort, as it progresses, it's going to build upon cohort 1, starting with the foundations of CMMC. And again, questions. Let's see. And then look at some of the deliverables from the cohort 1. This is applied learning, hands-on. Members going through the cohort, they're going to work together to essentially, they're going to establish a fictitious defense contractor that they are going to ultimately have to build out a system security plan for, policies and procedures, evidence, and that final capstone is going to be a mock assessment for that organization seeking assessment that they created, where the advisors are going to act as the assessor. So at the end of that cohort, members should have a solid foundation of knowledge and have been working towards this final capstone project where they can apply everything they learned and go through a CMMC level 1 self-assessment, mock assessment. Their advisors will be the assessors, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun doing the mock assessment. You get to apply what they've learned and have those outputs, those deliverables, which will also become part of our training library. So members that come behind them going through the training, they can have that as examples and resources. All right, so I'll pause again for a moment, and I'll kind of share a lot of information for a high level though, but questions, the upcoming training or mentorship program. All right, I think I must be explaining it well again. No questions. Okay, so that is really the bulk of what I wanted to cover today, because I know I've been kind of emailing directly with the members who have signed up, but wanted to give them more of an overview of what to expect, some more details, also give them opportunity to ask questions about the training, what they should be looking forward to, what's going to happen next. So in going back to next week, they expect to get more communication about first who you're paired with in terms of your mentor, that contact information, and what the expecting cadence is for that first communication with your mentor, and then the frequency of how often you all will meet. That's something really ultimately you'll negotiate with your mentor, but at a minimum, I mentioned we expect the expectation is for at least 1 hour a month where they're committing to answering your questions, providing you guidance as you progress through pathway, and then so any career guidance you're looking for. Also, next week, you'll get guidance information, next steps on when's going to be the kickoff session for the training that you signed up for. As it relates to the hands-on training, or asking members to really basically sign up for your primary training. But let's say if your primary training is Google Workspace, that's the one you're going to be signed up for, where you are eligible to attend the live trainings with the advisors. But you'll have access to the recorded trainings from the other cloud service providers, the AWS, the Google, so forth. Microsoft will have access to that, but whatever your primary is, that's the one you're going to be going through, the live training. Yeah, you'll get more information this week about when your kickoff session is going, who's in your cohort, who you're going to be working with over the next 90 days to work towards completing your capstone project. As I mentioned, with this being our first cohort, yeah, we're going to continuously improve it. So we're definitely open to suggestions for improvement. And as you're going through things, ideas you have, we can make it better. Yeah, don't hesitate to share those. That's our goal. Continuous improvement, providing thorough training opportunities and opportunities to really hone your skills. It's one thing to say that you understand CMMC, but those mock assessments are a good opportunity to demonstrate that. In addition to having their mock assessment as your capstone project, in partnership with Aspire Cyber, which is my for-profit business, we're going to be doing weekly, or we have been doing weekly mock assessments, and we're going to continue those so members will have opportunity to get some practice with those mock assessments as well. Outside of just doing real assessments, mock assessments are next best thing to get your reps in. You can read the guides all day. That doesn't mean you really understand the requirements or how to demonstrate them. So you get ample opportunities to demonstrate what you've learned. Okay, so to kind of close out in terms of the different memberships we have. So we'll still have our free membership, which is a community membership. And with that one, you have access to the LinkedIn group. Mark mentioned earlier, we're almost at 1,000 members. That's pretty exciting. And then we have our roundtables, which are attending now. We do these, try to do them weekly, and have posting a lot of content on our YouTube channel specific to CMMC. Also, the recordings from all the roundtables are on our YouTube channel. And then we also have the CPN Discord. Those are the free resources in the professional membership. That's where you have access to the hands-on training that I just outlined, and also the mentorship program, many other perks with the professional membership, and that's $99 per year membership.
Hey, Derek, I think we have a question. William has his hand raised.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, William.
Morning, Derek. Yeah, don't want to derail everything, but I was just kind of working through all of this in my head, and I know I've been kind of beating up behind the scenes about this. Wondering if maybe it's best if there was a way to help people pick a pathway and a product, some sort of, maybe everybody has and understands which direction they want to go, but it sounded like there was some question about which pathways and the products available and things like that. So maybe a call just to deep dive into those specifically, and talk about the options and what each entail, I guess, right? Just posting it out there as a suggestion, but there's other things that I guess you'd want to kind of talk about before picking a pathway in my mind, and that is just what works best for your organization, what are your expectations, and then even what are your compliance requirements, right? Because your type of data is going to matter which solution you should try to focus around. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get to, is the stuff that happens outside of the level 1 assessments necessarily, but the prerequisites for it, right?
Well, I think some really good insight. And I think that also will tie into mentorship program, where the mentors can kind of play that active role or helping those who are new to CMMC, so their mentees kind of guide them through that process. But to your point, we certainly can create content around helping give them guidance as well. So I do like that a lot. And Will, he's one of our advisors for Prevail, leading the charge on that side. A lot of great insights and contributions. I'm really excited to see how the Prevail training develops. Thanks for sharing insight. That suggestion, Will. I agree. That would be helpful.
No problem. I mean, I'm even willing to put on the discovery phase of this, I guess, right? To help people understand, but it's up to people if they actually want to attend or if it's even a problem.
Oh, that's great. And that's essentially what fuels the CPN community. People's identifying opportunities to make the community better and give back and provide training or things of resource, that are valuable. So that as a good example. So absolutely, you could do a webinar recording, invite people live, and then if not, they'll have the recording to kind of add this to going back to our training library. Well, I think this will be good training. I'll work with you offline on that one. Good suggestion. Fantastic. Anyone else had questions, comments? So we're continuously improving, and yeah, obviously as we initially launch these ambitious initiatives, there's definitely going to be areas to continuously improve in. Supplemental materials we can add, but I'm big on we got to first just get started, put it out there, and improve it as we go, versus waiting until we feel everything's perfect and in place. There are members, they're looking for guidance today. They're not looking for perfect at this point. I don't think that's the expectation. They're looking for help them as they progress into their career and trying to navigate CMMC. So definitely amongst our membership, we have that expertise, and then a lot of it is going to be more so how we're structuring it and just delivering it in the best possible manner. Really help the members learn and grow. That's what's cool. But it's definitely a community-driven or member-driven community. One who think of it like a potluck for CMMC. Everyone has different skill sets and things they can contribute to make the community better. And I think going back real quick brings me up on a quote. So Dan was number 3 for our founding members, and when I messaged him thanking him for becoming a founding member, he mentioned that he just paraphrasing, but that he essentially wanted to help make CPN great or awesome. His word is awesome. That really is the spirit of what's going to help CPN grow and really make an impact. As members identifying how can they contribute, how can they help make it great. So leadership team, the board, ambassadors, we have many ambassadors that have made great contributions to get us to this point. And we're always looking for anyone who has some of value they feel they can contribute, their skills, their insights, contribute them. Definitely welcome them. Let's see, and to close out, so I mentioned about the programs, the membership programs we have. And then, for any of you who haven't already signed up, maybe interested, you can just scan the UR code. It'll take you to the membership sign up page. Welcome you to do that. And as far as I had several people contact me this weekend asking, was it too late to sign up? No, the cohorts would be essentially rolling starts where someone can come in later. They don't have to already be enrolled by April 2nd. It's just a matter as the live training start happening. That's something you want to have access to and be part of the live trainings, and the sooner the better, so you're not playing catch up. Those rolling starts. And then to close out, mention CPN, we are a 501c3, so definitely are fueled by donations, contributing to the CPN, whether that's in monetary form or in the form of their time, expertise. We accept it all. We have some ambitious goals. We want to deliver a lot of value to the CMMC ecosystem. It takes people volunteering, donating, being committed to growing the organization. In the words of Dan, making CPN awesome. So stop sharing, and we have time to open it up for any more questions, comments, suggestions, if you'd like to share.
Derek, do you by any chance have the link for the Discord group? Ed was asking about any dedicated open group chat space, and I'm trying to find the
if you can
Discord.
I'll put the link in the chat, but you can go directly to our website is CMMC Pathways.org. And on the home page is where you'll find to the group. To the Discord is Isabel Rivera. She's the admin for the Discord. Her and Robert. Let's see. I'm just looking through, see if I missed any questions. Okay, so I see Elvis join. Welcome, Elvis. Not sure if you're still with us, Elvis, but if you are, if you think you wanted to add, Elvis is a member of our leadership team, the operations, VP of operations. Elvis anymore. All right, well, you say the Discord link isn't working for you?
I think it's the CMMCpathways.com isn't.
It's .org.
Oh, .org. Okay.
Yeah, .org. Did I put .com? Sorry about that.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, .org. Sorry. Non-profit.
I get a warning from Bitdefender. CMMCpathways.org. It's a mismatched security certificate. I assume that's okay.
It's safe, but I'm gonna have my developer check on it.
Yeah, probably should.
Because we do have the SSL certificate on there.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments before y'all get back to the hustle and bustle and see James? Oh, hi, James. Welcome. Talked about you earlier as one of our founding members. Another contribution James has made is he's organized a Dallas-Fort Worth local meetup. So we have that coming up this week. Is that April 3rd, right, James?
No, it's next week.
Next week. I have so much. Next week. Next week. Early.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday. So, yeah. Anything else you want to share about the meetup, just in case we have anyone that's local, Dallas?
Oh, well, it is at Trestella Cafe, which is at Preston Road and Frankfurt, just south of George Bush, and it's centrally located. And we're going to have just a lot of networking, both within the ecosystem and hopefully some OSCs. I know 2 OSCs who are coming, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, so we're going to go over kind of what we talked about with the at the Cyber AD Town Hall, and then every month we're going to have a presentation for 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, once again, mostly a lot of networking. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think we have 17 or 18 people signed up for the first one. So
Wow.
it's going to be a good turnout.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then also what's exciting about that is members who are located in other areas can pretty much leverage the blueprint that James used to put together this meetup to do CPN meetups in their local areas. I had a couple other members reach out to me, one in DC, one in New York. Definitely be able to leverage your guidance to put on a CPN meetup.
Sure. And I want to mention also that we haven't sent it out yet, but we are going to provide a Zoom link. It's just going to be for the speakers. So we're not going to be panning around the room too much with it. But anybody who wants to join that's not in the DFW area is more than welcome.
That's great. All right. Good stuff. Thanks, James. Okay. Well, are you ready to close out? Any other questions? I see a couple of our other our training advisors on here. I see Alex. He's one of the Google Workspace training advisors. As I mentioned, Will, he's a Prevail training advisor. We have some rock star training advisors with some tons of experience that are going to be pouring into our members and the training. Mel, I know Mel is enrolled in the Google Workspace training. Cool. I appreciate your time today. And this is we're launching it, so it's no turning back now, and continuously making it better as we go through. And just really want to be a resource for the CMMC ecosystem to get some hands-on training. That's probably the biggest complaint I hear from people who are especially just getting started in CMMC. How do they get hands-on training? CPN's going to provide that. All right. Well, y'all have a good day.